The government has launched a consultation on whether it should lift a 10-year time limit for people storing their frozen eggs, sperms or embryos. DAB lawmaker Nixie Lam, who's been calling for longer storage periods for egg freezing, has welcomed the government's proposal. She joins us on the line now to talk more about how the measure can help those looking to start a family. Thanks for joining us this morning, Ms. Lam.
Hi, morning, everyone.
Firstly, how common is egg or sperm freezing in Hong Kong? How much demand is there currently?
I can't give you a true figure of how much demand because we don't have a full Hong Kong figure. But what happened is the increasing demand in Hong Kong. And what happened is if you look at the figures of marriage maiden age in Hong Kong, it's at 32.7. More and more couples are getting married late and then planning their family late because of a lot of issues, family plannings and such. So that is, and if you look at some of the restrictions to current healthcare we're having, such as this 10 years period, it's pretty much outdated. We do need a full-on upgrade on a lot of the rules and regulations around us to make sure that it actually fits with this current day trends and everything.
Can I just ask you, is this particular service only available for married couples or is it for single people as well?
Single people, you can store your eggs as well, but when you use it, when you want to create an embryo, then you need to have a marriage certificate in Hong Kong.
Okay, and is this something that's going to be looked at to be changed, or is this not part of the proposal?
At the moment, I think it might be a little bit tricky, but we do need to do more persuasive discussions in Hong Kong. I think what happened is when I started proposing extending the storage limit, I thought it would be a very easy task because it's like 10 years to 30 years. That was my proposal. And I think, well, it doesn't cost the government any money and stuff like that. I didn't expect that it takes 3 years or so to sort of push it through. What happened is I think there's a lot of discussion going on. A lot of people think, well, that is not like a common issues and stuff. But then if you look at what happens within the marriage couples, a lot of the restriction at the moment were, or even lack of information in town, were stopping them to have early discussions and decisions around having babies and stuff. So I think that is something that we really was sort of like blank in Hong Kong. I mean, as such a developed city as Hong Kong, it is pretty amazing. A lot of people trying to ignore that discussion and not to talk about it, think about it as a taboo topic to talk about. I think that is something that is pretty sad, to be honest. So I think we do need to talk about a lot more to make sure, as such as the first question, we need more figures, we need more discussion, we need more thinking around it.
Okay, so how will extending the current period of 10 years make a difference to people who would be wanting to use such a service?
Well, it makes a very significant shift. At the moment, a lot of the couples, because of the restriction, or even for single women working in Hong Kong, a lot of people that we know, they're starting getting into like closing to 30, and then they didn't have a husband or a boyfriend yet, and a lot of women would go and store the eggs. What happened is they will need to, as we mentioned, you need to get married to use the eggs, so you need to find a husband, get married, and then start using it by the end of the 10 years period. So a lot of people resort to go to Thailand or go to the US or go to Japan to do the procedures because they wouldn't want to transfer the eggs or surrender or destroy those eggs at the end of the 10 years period. So that is something, basically it's a pivotal change for Hong Kong because previously, if everybody remember, the health minister was saying, well, or they wouldn't want to change anything because that would delay women's planning for having babies or couples having babies later. But for reality, what happened is if people wanting to go through all that, jabbing and stuff, basically they are pretty determined to have babies. They have a plan to go through that. people wouldn't want to just like go by trend and, oh, this is hip, so I will go through all the procedures and strap my eggs and stuff like that. So I think that is a pivotal change that the government knows that is the reproductive health care is very important in Hong Kong right now. And more governments around the world are not acknowledging that and then are having more subsidies on that around reproductive health care as well.
What about the cost involved, though? It sounds like it's an expensive procedure. Will extending the term make any difference here?
At the moment, it's pretty hard to evaluate because it does need some professional evaluation and procedures and stuff. We wouldn't want that to be so common and cheap because it shouldn't be very cheap procedures. At the end of the day, it's still a surgery. So at the moment, it's really hard to evaluate on that.
Thanks for joining us this morning. That's DAB lawmaker Nixie Lam.